Did I say too much?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm excited to work with the French-Canadian actors.
Yeah. we don't make too many jokes about you.
It's all in good fun anyway. Routine.
Yeah. Just wondering, how do you guys write? Like, do you write for yourselves or do you write for each other? If you say something funny in the movie, is it you who thought of that, or do you guys share?
No, I mean what we try to do is wait until maybe 15 drafts in to cast it. Inevitably, once it's cast, you end up writing for yourself. It's sort of human nature, but the first 15 drafts, you could be anybody, so you kind of, you just try to make everything funny. That's the sort of goal behind it. Yeah. Good addition there.
I was wondering where you guys filmed Club Dread, and when you were trying to figure out who would be the killer at the end, did you guys argue, it should be me, or it was a pretty easy choice for the Fun Police?
No, funny to continue on with Stolhanske's drunken exploits. There have been some great times where we've all been partying as a group together, and it's, 4 in the morning or something, just having a great time, and you just look across the room, and in a dark corner someplace, Stolhanske is looking at you like this, like... He was a natural choice for the killer.
He wasn't. He got in the zone, too. Like, when we did that mud bath scene, you weren't allowed to talk to him between takes, because he was the killer. But we shot it in just north of Manzanillo. It's on the west coast of Mexico. And there's this beautiful resort down there. And, we had come up with the idea, we had shot Super Troopers in Poughkeepsie, New York. And we thought, boy, wouldn't it be a good idea if we came up with something you could shoot in a tropical island. And then we sold that idea, surprisingly. And then they let us go down to this resort. It was this kind of 5-star resort we took over. And we were there for 2 months shooting the movie. We'll never go to a better place to shoot a movie. Except for Montreal.
Well, part of the killer eyes came from Steve used to have this cable neck knit sweater that he used to love that was pretty funny, I have to admit.
It was like a turtleneck sweater, Steve. It was his girlfriend's sweater.
It was his girlfriend's sweater, the turtleneck sweater, and Jay used to live in Charlie Chaplin's hunting lodge over in LA, and it had a hidden speakeasy in the basement. So one night, late night, we were down the speakeasy, and we were all trying on Steve's cable neck knit sweater that his girlfriend had that he stole from him. And we'd all go around trying it on, and then it was kind of like the Irish Spring guy, a little bit.
It was a good-looking sweater.
It was a good-looking sweater.
Yeah, well,
but then I was in the corner, and I happened to have killer eyes when I was wearing that.
I stretched the shit out of that sweater.
You killed the sweater. It didn't survive Heffernan. It came back.
It didn't snap back after I put it over my head.
Never lived again. It was funny being in Mexico shooting Club Dread. There were these whoever wrote The Princess Bride. The rodents of unusual size definitely came from this area. We had these things called tejones. I've never seen anything like them. They were like these big lumbering rodents with sharp claws, and they would get into your shit. Like when you checked into the hotel, the Mexican guys there were like, "Señors, whatever you do, make sure you put all the food in the fridge and lock the refrigerator, okay? Nothing in the suitcase." And Stolhanske and I, the first couple days we had to room together, and so Erik and I were living together, and Stolhanske, they said that to Erik, and he was like, yeah, sure, whatever. And we went and had our first rehearsal that night. And we came back to our room, and there were, Erik had brought up all these Odwalla bars, a box of Odwalla bars. And there was a trail of ripped Odwalla bar wrappers leading away from the house, down into the woods. And Erik ran into the house, following the trail, and found that they had gotten into his suitcase, torn the shit out of everything, thrown his clothes out of there, gotten into his multivitamins. We used to joke that there were going to be these super rodents in the jungle from the protein supplements. But he was upset about it. He's like, "These fucking Odwalla bars are expensive." And I was like, "Calm down, man, calm down. It's all cool." And then I looked over and I saw like my script and my contracts and stuff with a steaming pile of shit on top of them. They're bad animals.
They broke into the hair room and shit up my wig. I walked in that morning and found the hair guy crying because there was shit in my wig and he had to clean it out of there. True story.
Hi. In Beer Fest, Jay had like a one-night stand with Monique, I think, the actress. How do you approach her for a role like this where it's like, oh, you're going to be the disgusting girl?
Remember she dared us to give her the part, right?
Yeah, I mean, she came into the room and said, I will see you on the set. I mean, you know, it was a meeting, it was an audition. So, you know, she's so funny and is aware of I don't know. Look, I'm not proud of that particular bit about it, but...
Well, wait a minute. At the end of the scene, you say that you knew...
That I knew it all along, right, exactly. So it's redeemed. But she was just great. She was funny. I don't know how to answer your question, though.
Now, it was a good... I mean, I think she just liked the role. It was funny because it was like... There's the fight scene that she had, and there was, you know, a little bit of German, you know, thing, and she got to suck face with the Baron, and, you know, there's a lot of fun stuff for her, and I think she had a great time. She's actually the one, like, she talked Michael Clark Duncan into doing this movie with us, you know. He kind of called her up and was like, who are these guys? Like, what's their deal? Should I work with them? And, you know, and she was like, oh, those guys are great, and she was the one who sealed the deal to get him in the movie. I think he does a fantastic job. So.
Yeah.
So that was a plus from Monique.
Hi, this question is for Kevin. Is it hard to act in and direct the same movie?
Yeah, it's pretty hard. You know, Chandrasekhar had directed the ones before this, and then, you know, what we would do is he would direct, and we'd all kind of join in or whatever, and give him thoughts, and you're always like, you know, wondering if he was listening to you or not. And then I realized what it was. Like, when I was doing it, I appreciated what he went through because, yeah, the hard thing is you kind of have like 7 or 8 things juggling in your mind while you're acting. Like, is the light right? Did they hit their cue? Can you see that microphone? You know, this shit just goes through your head while you're trying to act with the person and you're looking around. So that, you have to have your stuff really down. You have to have your material really down. And then people just are always kind of talking to you and putting more things in your mind. So that was the hardest part, I think. And you know, sure, that was something that you dealt with in the past.
I mean, it ruins 2 perfectly great jobs. It's just because you're acting with somebody and you're like, I could have said that differently. Oh, it's my line, you know, and it's fine. But I mean, it's. I'm not going to sit here and complain about it too much. I mean, it's a great job, but it's not
another layer of difficulty.
It's not as fun as just directing or just acting.
Like, that's the thing. Like, when he would direct, there'd be like just a little peanut gallery, and everyone would be laughing off on the side while he was dealing with all the shit they had to deal with. And then when I directed, then he became part of that peanut gallery. I think you really liked that kind of grab-assing that you never had to do.
I enjoy grabbing ass.
It's true. So.
Hey guys, in Beer Fest, how much of the beer was real and how much of the beer was prop beer?
What's prop beer?
Like fake.
All the stuff that Germans were drinking was prop beer, and all the stuff we were drinking was real beer.
German pussies. We came into it with an attitude of like, fuck that, just give us the beer. But you would show up to shoot stuff, you know, at like 7 a.m. and you do like, you do 6, 7, 8 takes of the same thing over and over again. And you were like completely loaded by 8 a.m. and you're like, I can't keep doing this. And so we said, maybe give us something that looks like beer. But we were drinking German beer, so it had to be dark. So they would mix non-alcoholic beer and like coffee, and they'd mix non-alcoholic beer and Coke, and it was vile, the most vile shit. So we were like, you know what, we'll go back to beer. Just take our chances with the real beer. I'd rather be wasted than have a belly full of coffee and non-alcoholic beer.
I remember leaving though the Beer Fest arena, and we had been drinking non-alcoholic